Shakespeare's First Folio. Isn't this too old and antique to be of use? When you read any piece of Shakespeare's work, you are not reading the original, and you are not reading what he wrote. Some of Shakespeare's plays were published during his lifetime, but half of them were published for the first time in the First Folio 7 years after his death. Two fellow shareholders, the actors John Heminge and Henry Condell, presented the edition. Because the words there are not identical to those in the earlier published single copies of some of the plays, and because of perceived errors in the text, all subsequent editors have felt free to change words, punctuation, and line lengths to present a version of the text that they feel is more accurate and is edited to be literature. They do not, of course, agree with each other, and so there are now many variations offered for each piece of Shakespeare, and interestingly, the more famous the piece, the more changes the editors feel called upon to make. They tend never to look at the text with an actor's eyes or from an actor's point of view. The First Folio is not always grammatical or logical, but it is fundamentally theatrical. The text was written to be acted, not to be read, and First Folio text is packed full of instructions to actors, who had to present plays at such a rate that there was no time for rehearsals in the way it is understood today. In fact, there was not even the complete script to study, only their own lines. Given this, the actual words to be spoken were the only things the actor could base his performance on, and so the original text is important and fascinating. In the folio, a lot of words that would not normally be capitalized are, and when text is modernized, the editors as a matter of course remove them from all but the proper names, deciding to regularize the situation. The original capitalization turns out to be a guide to the acting of the piece, not just a piece of irrelevant Elizabethan printing practice. They seem to be stepping stones to help the actor get through a wonderful speech, when they have had little time to prepare it. As far as the line length is concerned, a half line of text followed by another half line means come in on cue, whereas an unfulfilled half line means take a pause. However, when you look at the original text, you find many more half lines there than in modern editions to help you work out when to do some stage business. Shakespeare wrote as people spoke, by punctuating the text with natural speech patterns. Unlike literature that is carefully punctuated so as to be grammatically correct, Shakespeare punctuated the way people actually spoke. So the original punctuation is crucial, for it defines where the individual thoughts end. It is plain to see that editors give themselves total permission to change the folio punctuation. What is not so clear at first, unless you are a performer, are the changes that this makes to the intention and meaning of a speech. The original spelling in the folio often helps you to understand what accent to use or what emphasis to make, as in one speech your character might change from a long drawn-out me to a simple me and back again.